What's been the toughest part about all this for you?
The unknown. Also,
Yeah.
my wife, she is a hairstylist and can't go to work. She literally had just gotten her barber's. She's been a hairstylist since she's 15,
Yeah.
so 15 years or so. And she just got out of barber school, and we were planning to open up a barber shop, and all of that's on hold. So literally, like, her day is doing school for Everett, and then just a bunch of like things that she hates, like because she's having to keep up with the house because I'm up here locked in this thing, whatever. So that's the biggest thing is just wishing that it was easier on her. She tends to get really cooped up anyway, and I think I'm so traveled that honestly this time at home is fine for me. I mean I get out every day and I go for a drive. Either I just go get like something to
Nice.
drink. I go, oh, that's a good thing that is okay. So here is one. I go out and I'll go drive through somewhere and get a drink and a iced tea or a Diet Coke or whatever. And then I just drive around and listen to a podcast for like 30-40 minutes. And then by the time I get back, I'm ready to take a shower and come up here and work all day.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things where I've noticed that some of my friends literally haven't been out of their house, and I'm like, you gotta at least go take a walk or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the toughest things for a lot of people has just been the isolation,
Mm.
really being socially cut off. And although we're video chatting and we're doing things like this, for a lot of people, sometimes that's not enough, and we're missing a lot of those social supports that we really relied on before, kind of face-to-face contact. And without that, I mean, it's a struggle. It's a
You
struggle
know,
for
that's a really interesting point that you bring up because my friends in LA, they basically live the television show Friends. So they're all single and they all are just at each other's house all the time. When it's Thanksgiving, they go up and they get a cabin. And I'm like, having been married most of my adult life, there are times when I'm jealous of that, where I'm like, man, just that freedom and just God, they're having so much fun and this and that, just they're all in LA, so they're so far away from the having to drive to their mom's house and this thing. And it's funny because those are the people right now that are like, hey man, you want to have game night, because they're literally all alone, like it's them and their pets and that's it. And and then even from my standpoint, Rob just got married, so he's there. Gary has his 2 kids and his wife. I have my wife and my 2 boys and my pets. Chris Burney is all by himself in Denton with his dog and
yeah.
like just by himself. So
Yeah, I've been watching him a lot on Facebook and
yeah,
his podcast.
it's the greatest show on earth. Like if he doesn't get picked up for a television show, but and honestly, when he comes on, we put him on our television in the living room and just
Yeah.
go get a glass of wine and just sit there and just watch him.
And it's a familiar face. I mean, it's somebody
Yeah.
and it helps. It helps.
Well, we've had to make a conscious effort, the band, to make sure that, hey, we're hanging out at least once a week where the 4 of us get on. Sometimes we put it on Facebook and we call it a band meeting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just us 4, just, hey, here's what's going on with you, Chris. Listen to Chris tell us that, hey, I got out. I went to the store today.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing that is so messed up about this. If you don't have those mental things going on in your head, man, reach out to your friends, because there's a lot of loneliness in the world right now, and not everybody is comfortable just spouting it.
Yeah, good advice.
And
I think a lot of people who were already kind of isolated even before this, I think when they first kind of hit the stay at home and stuff like that, it's like, oh, my world really hasn't changed much. But the longer this goes on, the more stress and more strain it puts on that.
Yeah.
I think the longer the quarantine goes on, the tougher it is to be. And I want to encourage people a lot too, that if you don't have that social connection, that there are some other things you can do to kind of help out. And one of those things I'm telling a lot of my patients nowadays, man, is maintain some sense of routine. Even if it's a bedtime, it's so easy right now to just sleep in all day because you don't have to get up from work or
right.
lost a job or something like that.
Right.
To have the bedtime, to have a time where you eat, a time you walk the dog, a time when you connect with the rest of your bandmates, all that stuff. Just even a simple routine is going to be something that's going to help buffer the long-term effects of all this down the road. We want to press people to try and do that and maintain that as best as they can.
Yeah, and you know, I think another one of the big stresses is I think, you know, I don't think I know, but I mean, when this all started, you know, me and my wife were like, okay, we're gonna do projects every week. We're gonna get this done, and we're gonna get this done, and we get this done. So now all of a sudden, everybody has this insane amount of pressure put on themselves to accomplish all of this stuff,
Yeah.
to lose weight, to
Yeah.
get in shape, to learn to whittle or whatever. And one of my really good friends who also is, you know, one of my confidence in mental stuff, and she's got some pretty crazy depression stuff. And she posted this thing. It was so simple, but man, it really spoke to me. She just goes, you know, if you're not losing weight and you're not getting everything that you want to get done, and, you know, then fine. Right now, everybody's job is to survive. This is a pandemic that we have not seen in our lifetime, and in a situation that I don't even think our parents had anything like this, to where they were just locked inside like this. And so your job is to get up every day and function enough to stay alive, and everything else is bonus.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah. Right on. Right on. Yeah.
And you know what, that really helped me immensely, because, you know, I you know, as we've talked about my weight gain, you and we talked about that in the first thing that I did with you. And for those who don't know me, I you know, in 2014, when all of this really started to snowball me, I got very, very inactive, and I was in really good shape at the time. And so I've put on a lot of weight, and it's been very, very difficult for me to get it off, just because of just the person that I am, and whatever. It's hard for me to lose weight, and I admit that. And depression, anxiety do not help me with that at all. In fact, they're the ones going, you don't need to get up early, and you should eat all of this stuff, and you know, like whatever. But you know, that's just it. I had all this just insane pressure on me, and I was just like, you know, why if I didn't start this in January, you know, why does it have to be right now, just because I'm off the road? Like, what I need to do. Oh, one more cool thing because I want to make sure I get this in. This is the coolest thing that I've heard this whole time. And I want to send this out to anybody who is like at their wits end on this homeschooling thing, because I know it's a really big deal. Like, people are losing their minds, and I totally get it. And I do 1 day a week with my son. I totally get it. But so the first thing I noticed is all these messages from the principal coming in going, hey, if it's not working, it's not working. Mark him there, read a book, spend some time with it. And then somebody followed that up. One of my friends goes, here's what's crazy if you think about it. Parents, we're going to think about this thing and be like, yeah, everybody was out of toilet paper, and we couldn't go inside Chili's, and like we had to wear a mask at Kroger. Right. And all kids are going to think about is, yeah, man, I was done with school at 10. I got to go out and ride my bike. We started eating dinner at the table as a family. We had never done that before, you know? And if you kind of put that into your head as like that's your child's perspective on things, like, because it really is, like, they're not going to come out of this going, oh man, those are some low gas prices, guys. You know, they're going to be like, oh man, dude, we did water balloons on the trampoline 7 days in a row, you know?
Awesome. Hey man, I was lucky enough to talk you into doing a song for us.
Yes.
Definitely appreciate that. What song are you going to do?
Well, I think I'll do a song that's kind of fitting for the time. You know me, I'm in the funny band, but I do write some songs that have some substance. Oh, I forgot to do this one thing. I have to take this thing off the mic. Okay, so I'm going to plug this thing in, and the audio should switch. Hang on. Let's see what happens. Let's see.
There it is.
That switch. All right, great. Yeah. So, one of the songs that I'm getting asked to play in my shows that, and I'm trying not to make them all too heady, trying to make my shows more of like a release and stuff. But in life, there's speed bumps. And so I had asked my next door neighbor one time, who was an airline pilot, I said, hey man, what's it like when you're up there and you're just like it's just going crazy, like the plane's like this, like what is that like? And he goes, Jaret, to tell you the truth, that's just bumps in the road. And I was like, oh man, like how freaking poetic, guy who has a Corvette, like that's insane, and he was washing his Corvette with no shirt on too. Like it was like a whole thing. All right. Hey, that audio, is that good?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
So this song is called Turbulence. It's so hard to figure out which way to turn. There's no going back now. All your bridges burn. The stars are gonna shine on you if you can get through the day. Storm clouds all around you, but a blue sky's on the way. And we're all just passengers tonight. And we're all just traveling through our lives. We will reach our destination, so just hang on for the ride. Say a prayer and close your eyes. It's just a little turbulence. Take a look around you. Look how far you've come. Your whole life in front of you, you've only just begun. We've all got our problems, but they're just bumps in the road. If you'd only keep on fighting, there's nowhere you can't go. And we're all just passengers tonight. And we're all just traveling through our lives. We will reach our destination, so just hang on for the ride. Say a prayer and close your eyes. It's just a little turbulence. This life can be so crazy, it can spin out of control. But I hope that all your dreams come true. Yeah, you know that you're amazing, and no matter where you go, I'm there for you. We can make it through. And we're all just passengers tonight. And we're all just traveling through our lives. We will reach our destination, so just hang on for the ride. Say a prayer and close your eyes. It's just a little turbulence. We're all just passengers tonight. And we're all just traveling through our lives. We will reach our destination, so hang on for the ride. Say a prayer and close your eyes. It's just a little turbulence.
Thanks, man. That
Dude,
was
thank
wonderful. That was wonderful. Hey, once again, Jaret Reddick from Bowling for Soup. If you would like to say hi to Jaret, you want to plug any websites or anything like that for you?
I am everywhere at JARET 211